Sound test 1, 2, 3. Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. So, in this topic, I'm going to teach you how to create an AHU split system that is oriented vertically. Okay, so as you can see, I have here the uh, air handling unit split system vertical. So, this is what we are going to do. So, I'm just going to show you how to create the 3D model, but we are not going to do here some formula for the sizes. So we are just going to create it plainly. Okay, so I'm not going to make it very complicated. So I'm just going to use the extrude, and then after that, we are going to put connectors. So we will be using this family inside a MEP project, and then we are going to test out if the connectors are working. Okay, so again, we are not going to make this very complicated. So we're just going to use the basic creation of 3D models. So we're not going to use any formulas to create the parameters. Okay, so we're just going to fix this one. Okay, so let's get started. So we are going to create a new project. So I'm just going to select new here. And then after that, we need to select the template here. So let's say the template. Okay, so I'll just use here mechanical equipment, this one. So I'll just use this one. And then I'll just select here open. Toot, 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 toot. Right, okay, so after opening the project, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create reference planes. Okay, so we're going to create reference planes for this one to create the, before we do the extrusion or the shape of our model. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to use reference plane here. So you just click that one. We'll be using the peak lines tool. Just click that. And then I'm going to specify here the offset distance. So let's say I'm going to key in here. I want the size or the width of my equipment to be 650. So I'm going to type here equals 650 divided by 2, enter. Okay. And then, of course, you can type in directly the value that you want. But if you're not sure what is the computation, so you can put here the formula. Okay. I mean the equation, right? All right, and then I'm going to hover my pointer here to offset to the right side and then to the left side. So that's it. So it will gives me a total of 650, right? Then after that, so let's try to create another reference plane, right? So let's say I want 580, something like that. So equals 580 divided by 2. Okay, so here to here. Right, and then I just select here modify. Okay, so this will now be the reference of my extrusion. So I'm just going to create here. Like what I've said, we are not going to put here so much details like the parameters formula. Okay, so we're just going to use here the reference plane. So I just want you to be familiar first on the 3D modeling of our model. Okay, right. Then I'm just going to select here extrusion. Okay, and then using rectangle, so I'm going to pick from here to here. Very simple. Just click that. And then after that, we are going to extrude that one. Okay, so I'm just going to select check here. Okay, so if you check that in the 3D view, this is how it looks like. Okay, but we need to increase the height of our equipment here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one. I'm going to change the depth here. So let's say this will be 1346, 1346, enter. There you go. All right, so this is now the equipment. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add some details. Like, for example, here in this portion, this is where I'm going to put a connector for my duct. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create here an extrusion, like void extrusion. So I'm going to select the front elevation. Okay, so front elevation, and then after that, I'm going to select create, void extrusion. I'll select void extrusion. Okay, and then after that, I'm now going to offset it. So I'll use this one, offset distance. So let's say about 48 from here to here. Okay, and then after that, another offset about 90. That one, and then another extrusion to finish up 382, like that. Oh, let me just say 380. Right, there you go. And then let's use the trim here. One, two, one, two, one, two. There you go. And then let me just go to the 3D view. So this is how it looks like. So what we want to do is we want to place this void extrusion to this space here, because at the moment it's at the middle or at the center. So I'm going to select set first, set work plane, and then pick a plane. Okay, and then we are just going to pick this face. And then you will notice the outline there, the sketch will be placed here. So I'll just select here, check. There you go. Okay, but we're not going to make our extrusion too deep like this one. So I'll just select this one. How about 20? All right. All right, perfect. Okay. And let us try to add another void extrusion at the top portion. So let's create here. Okay. So I'm going to select here, create, void extrusion. Let me select void extrusion. All right. And since we place here our work plane, so we want to place the work plane here at the top. So I'm going to select your set, pick a plane, and then OK. And then let's pick this face here. Just click that one. There you go. And then I'm going to open the top view, the reference level. And from there, we are going to create our void extrusion. So let's say, for example, I'm going to select big lines, offset again, like for example 20. Okay, so that one, 20, and about 140, let's say. All right, so 140, 140. Okay, and then after that, I'll use here 300, 300 just to complete. Again, I'm going to select trim extend to corner, from here to here, from here to here. And then I'll just select here 3D view. So this is how it looks like. And then check. Okay, again, it's too deep. So I'm going to select the void. Let me just type here 20. There you go. Okay, so this is where we're going to place the connectors for our dock. Okay, now let's say, for example, we also want to connect our equipment to the power. Okay, we want to have an electrical connector, so we are going to place it here later. Okay, but before that, let's complete our connector here. So we're going to place a connector here. So let's say in this portion, so this is where we are going to place the return air connector. So we want to place here the duct for the return air. So let's say this is the inner direction. So I'm going to select here create. I select create. This is very important. You need to place connectors. Okay, so I'm going to select connector, and then we're going to put there a dock connector. So I'm going to go ahead and place the dock connector, and then face. So change the system. So let's say I want that to be air, return air. So I'm going to place it here. So make sure it highlights. Let me check the select here. All right, so it's checked. All right, so let me just pick here. Make sure this face here highlights when you place the connector. Just pick. There you go. And then you just select here modify. So after you place the connector, so of course we need to resize this connector. So something like this, okay? Not necessarily exact, but if you want, you can also do that. So let me just click this and let's say I'm going to change the height to about 380, and for the width about 560, then enter. Then I'll select apply. So that's it. So this is now my connector. So let me just add some more details. So I'll click this one, and then I'm going to modify the flow configuration. So I'll just use the default here, calculated, and the flow direction. So instead of bidirectional, I'll just use in, and making sure this is return air. All right, I'll just use the default value for loss method and flow configuration. Now for the flow, okay, so it's 0 liters per second. Let me change that to, let's say I want it to be 500 liters per second. There you go. So that is now the information for my connector here, for my return air connector. Now the next one is I also want to add a connector here. So same procedure, okay? The same procedure. I just need to select create connectors, dock connector. So I'm going to place it here, making sure this is highlighted, this space. Just click that one, then modify. And again, we're going to select the connector, change the property, let's say about 305, or let's say 300, 300 by 300. There you go. Okay, so that's the connector. Okay, and then let us add some more details. So I click this one. So let's say for the flow direction, this is now my out. Oh, I forgot to change the system classification. I want this to be supply this time. Supply air. Okay, and for the flow, let's say 500 also. So that's it. So that is now for my two duct connector. Okay, so let's say I also want to add here, to add this mechanical equipment to my electrical. So I'm going to put here an electrical connector. Okay, so from the create tab, so let's say I want to place it here to this space here. So from the create tab, I'm going to select electrical connector, and then I'll just select this space here. Okay, so make sure this is highlighted. So you can press the tab to cycle the selection like that. So once it highlights the face, you click. There you go. And then I just select here modify. So you now have here your connector. Again, it's up to you. You can place your electrical connector here, back portion, or here. You can even put it here at the top. It's up to you. You can put it at the bottom. Okay. But for me, let's say I want to place it here at the side. So let me just add some information on my connector. So I click this one. All right. For this, I'm going to change here the system type. So let's say this is power balance, not communication, but power balance. Number of poles. So let's say I want 3 poles. I'll just use this one, the default. Load classification, let me change that to, how about, mm, I want to add, okay, I'm going to add here new one. So let's say I'll just call this cooling, okay? Right. Demand factor, I'll just use default. Okay. That's it. All right. I'll just select. And then for the voltage, so let's say I want 210 volts. Apparent load, so let's say 10,800 volt amps. Power factor like zero point 0.8. Again, it's up to the designer. Okay, so these are just some example. Okay, so after we place here our electrical connector, so we now have mechanical, conducting, electrical. Oh, so we also want to generate pipe from this equipment. So what we are going to do now is we're going to add extrusion. That will be the reference of our pipe for the pipe connector. Okay, right. Okay, so let's say I'm going to place it here, there. Okay, so what's this? So this is back. You see that is back, back. So I'm going to open here the back elevation. Okay, so I'll just approximate. Okay, I'll just approximate the placement of the pipe. So I'm going to select create here, extrusion, and set work plane, pick a plane, and then okay. All right, and then we want to make sure that this face is highlighted. So we pick. There you go. Right. Then after that, it's just a circle. So I create a circle here. So let me place it somewhere here. Okay. So let's say the radius is about 14. There you go. And then I select your check. All right. Let's check the 3D view. Up, it's okay. We want to modify this one. Something like this. Okay. Just approximate it. Okay. And then let us place another one. Like for example, here below. So again, I'm going to select back. Okay. Create extrusion. Set work plane. Let's pick a plane. Pick this one. All right. So let me create circle here. I'm going to type SC for center. There you go. So let's say about 5. There you go. All right, let me just move this below. Select that, and then I'm going to move that below. Okay, approximate. There you go. Okay, and then let me add one here also. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. I select this. Okay, I select the circle, copy, pick. Let me place it somewhere here. Just approximate. Again, you can always use the constraint if you want to place it at the exact location. All right, it's not placing, it's a bit lagging. All right, so there you go. So let me say this one is 10. There you go. So in 3D view, this is how it looks like. So let me finish this. Oops, let me change it. All right, so something like that. Okay, so this is where we are going to place oops, our pipe connector. Okay, let me just move this a bit below. Down. All right, like that. So let us add connector, right? So for this one, let us create pipe connector. Okay, so let's say for example for this one, I want to put there uh, domestic domestic hot water. Or other. I'll just put other. So it's up to you what is the type of system that you want to put there. What type of pipe. So I'll just use other. And then I'll place it here. There you go. Again, we need to change this one. Change the diameter. So if the radius is, let's say, 14. So it's 28. There you go. So let us add some more details. Just click that one. For the flow configuration, I'll just use preset flow direction. So let's say that will be the output. Okay, and that's it. I'm not going to change any of this. Right, so this time I'm going to select this portion here. Right, so I'll just select connector, pipe connector. Let's pick here. I'll just use other. Again, you can change that to be specific, like for example, that is for domestic hot water, that is for hydronic return, hydronic supply, for sanitary, or for vent. So it's up to you. I'll just selecting here other, and then I'll just modify. All right, by the way, I'll click this one again, and then change here the radius like 510 over 2. There you go. Oops, wait, should be 10, sorry. All right, so 10. So that is for my preset flow configuration. That is for the in, flow direction, other. All right, that's it. So let me go ahead here. Okay, for that one, so let's say this is for my sanitary. So I'm going to make it more specific. So I'm going to select here create pipe connector. I'll pick it. Oh, before I pick, let me just change here to sanitary. And then let me pick here. There you go. Modify. And for this one, for the diameter, about 19, right? Or like 20, right? Okay, there you go. Let me add some information. This is for the preset flow configuration, and then flow direction is out and sanitary. There you go. So you just created your simple air handling unit split system that is vertically placed. All right, so let us save this one on the documents. Right. And then the next thing that we're going to do, let's try if this is working. All right. So let's create a new project. New project. This one, I'll just create a new project using the mechanical template and then OK. All right. Then after that, I'm going to open the family, this one, and then I'm going to load it into the project. Load it into the project. All right, see, it's now loaded. So let me place one here. There you go. And then as you can see, you now have there the connectors. So you will now be able to create your duct there, your pipe, as well as you can connect that to your electrical system. Okay, so let's try. So for example, for this one, I'm going to create a pipe here for the sanitary. So I'll select this one, right click, draw pipe, or you can click that directly. You can click that. There you go. So as you can see, you can't see the pipe here because this is a sanitary system and currently we are at 1-mech. So if you want to see the pipe that you are creating here, so better to go to plumbing. Okay, so I go to plumbing and then I click this. I click the pipe. There you go. See, you are now able to see the pipe because you are on the correct view. So let me create one here. Let me create one here. There you go. See? So you are able to create the pipe because the most important thing here is you need to add a connector. By the way, the reason why it is showing color green line, it's because of this one. So you can select here fine. There you go. So let us add another one here. So out. I'll use here, let's say this one, because we have two connectors here, right? We have two connectors. I select OK. Right, so let me try this one and then I'll create here. There you go. So let's click the other one. All right, there you go. There you have it. There you have it. Okay, so you're now able to create the pipe there from the connector. See? So let's change here the detail level. Right, there you go. Okay, how about the duct? Okay, you can create also the duct here. So if I go to the one dash mech, I click this one. So there's the duct. Right, there you go. Nice. Can create from there. Create from there. Okay. Even if I change here, let's say 300 by 300. There you go. See, it's working. How about the connector from this one? So let me create here. Let me go to the elevation here. All right, this one. Click this one. There you go. So it's properly working. Again, this is a very simple way to create your family, your mechanical equipment family. Okay. So in 3D view, this is how it looks like. Okay. Right. So I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So again, this is just a simple way to create your family without having the difficulty of creating formulas for the parameters. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys, and have a nice day.